Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into the most thrilling movies you can't stop thinking about. Jigra, starring Alia Bhatt as Satya and Vedang Raina as Anko, delves into the depths of sibling love, exploring the lengths a sister would go to save her brother. Set against the backdrop of a fictional authoritarian Southeast Asian country, the film examines themes of family bonds, justice, and resilience in the face of adversity. Satya's journey is one of emotional and physical endurance, highlighting her transformation from a protective sibling to a relentless savior. Satya and Anko's bond is deeply rooted in their childhood experiences. Growing up, they faced a traumatic moment that defined their relationship and the trajectory of their lives. Their father, overwhelmed by personal struggles, attempted to take his own life by standing on the edge of their balcony. Satya, being older and more aware, recognized the gravity of the situation. Shielding her younger brother from the horrifying sight, she covered his eyes, sparing him the trauma. This protective instinct became a cornerstone of their relationship. After their father's death, the siblings moved in with distant relatives, where they gradually adjusted to a new life. Despite the challenges, Satya always prioritized Anko's well-being, ensuring he felt safe and loved. As adults, their lives seemed stable. Anko, now a young entrepreneur, planned a business trip to a Southeast Asian country with his cousin. This trip became a point of contention between the siblings. Satya, aware of the cousin's reckless tendencies, was apprehensive. Despite her reservations, she allowed Anko to go, albeit reluctantly, after warning him about potential dangers. The cousin's carelessness proved disastrous. During the trip, their business deal was successful, and to celebrate, they went out partying. At the party, someone slipped a small packet of what appeared to be cocaine into the cousin's possession. On their way back, they were stopped by the police for speeding, and the illegal substance was discovered. This marked the beginning of Anko's nightmare. The police arrested both Anko and his cousin. Desperate to protect his cousin, Anko contacted the family lawyer, who suggested a shocking solution: to confess to possessing the drugs. The lawyer assured Anko that a false confession would result in a light sentence and save his cousin from the death penalty. Trusting the lawyer's advice, Anko agreed, believing he would be released after a short time in prison. However, the court's verdict was devastating. Instead of a minor sentence, Anko was handed the death penalty, as the country's drug laws were extremely strict. The betrayal and shock left Anko reeling. Back home, Satya was devastated when she learned of the situation and resolved to do whatever it took to save her brother. Satya's journey to save Anko began with her traveling to the Southeast Asian country. Upon arrival, she met with multiple lawyers who all painted a grim picture. Overturning a death penalty in such a strict legal system was almost impossible. Despite the discouraging news, Satya refused to give up. During this time, she crossed paths with Bhatia, played by Manoj Pawar, an Indian man whose son was also wrongfully imprisoned and on death row. Bhatia introduced Satya to a support group for families of prisoners. In one of these sessions, they met Muthu, Rahul Ravindran, a former police officer burdened with guilt over a similar case. Years ago, Muthu had arrested a young man who was later executed, despite being innocent. Haunted by his failure to save the man, Muthu reluctantly joined Satya and Bhatia in their quest to free their loved ones. With Muthu's insider knowledge and access to prison blueprints, the trio devised a meticulous plan to break Anko and two other prisoners out. The plan revolved around exploiting a weak spot in the prison's otherwise impenetrable security system. Meanwhile, inside the prison, Anko and his new friends were working on their own escape plan, inspired by the Shawshank Redemption. They began drilling a tunnel, hoping to dig their way to freedom. However, the coordination between the outside and inside teams proved challenging. Before Satya and her team could implement their plan, Anko and the others attempted to escape on their own. Tragically, their breakout was thwarted. The authorities apprehended the prisoners, and one of Anko's friends was killed during the attempt. This failure not only heightened security but also advanced the date of Anko's execution. The failure of the first plan pushed Satya to the edge. Realizing she was running out of time, she decided to abandon finesse and resort to brute force. Bhatia, a former gangster, used his connections to assemble a team of allies willing to help. The new plan involved disabling the prison's power supply, creating chaos, and storming the facility to rescue the prisoners. Muthu, however, opposed the violent approach. He believed that resorting to such measures would make them no better than the corrupt system they were fighting against. Despite his protests, Satya remained resolute, prioritizing her brother's life above all else. The execution of the plan was chaotic and intense. Satya and her team successfully cut off the prison's main power supply, plunging the facility into darkness. However, backup generators quickly restored power, complicating their mission. Undeterred, Satya sent explosive-laden trucks to breach the prison fences. The explosions created pandemonium, enabling prisoners to escape and distracting the guards. Inside the prison, Satya navigated through the chaos, fighting off guards with sheer determination. Her resolve was fueled by memories of her childhood with Anku, reminding her of the bond that had always driven her to protect him. She rallied the escaping prisoners, inciting a rebellion against the oppressive guards. Satya reached Anku just as he was about to be executed. Their reunion was brief, as they were quickly cornered by guards. At the last moment, Bhatia arrived in a bulletproof vehicle, rescuing them. However, during the escape, Bhatia was mortally wounded. Knowing he wouldn't survive, he sacrificed himself to ensure Satya, Anku, and his son could flee. The group made their way to the coast, where they boarded a boat. Their plan was to reach Malaysian waters, where they would be safe from the pursuing authorities. The guards gave chase, and it seemed Satya might have to sacrifice herself to protect Anku. Just then, Malaysian coast guards intervened, forcing the pursuers to retreat. As the boat crossed into safe waters, Satya finally allowed herself to breathe. Anku was alive, and their ordeal was over. However, the cost of their freedom weighed heavily on her. Bhatia's sacrifice and the lives lost during the prison break served as stark reminders of the fragility of justice in an unjust system. Jigra is a gripping tale of love, resilience, and the fight for justice. Through its emotionally charged narrative and thrilling sequences, the film captures the essence of sibling bonds and the sacrifices they entail. Alia Bhatt delivers a powerhouse performance as Satya, embodying the fierce spirit of a sister who stops at nothing to save her brother. The movie leaves viewers reflecting on the complexities of justice, the power of love, and the indomitable human spirit. Hit that like button, share this video with your thriller-loving friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into unforgettable films. And hey, tap that bell icon to stay updated, because we've got more twists and turns coming your way. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.